Welcome to The Secret Place with Steffa Bennett. 5-minute devotions for hungry hearts and searching souls.
Good morning. Welcome to this big, bright, beautiful, sunny day in South Florida. I hope you're having a great day. Whether it's sunny or it's dark, I hope it's a wonderful day. I'm excited today because it's a day of celebration. Every day is worth celebrating, but it's a day of celebration. We're getting to celebrate one of our grandies' birthdays today, and that's always fun with balloons and cake and favorite meals and songs and whatnot. And it made me think of a passage that I read about in this book, which I believe I've showed you before. It's called Life Signs, Intimacy, Fecundity, and Ecstasy in Christian Perspective by Henry J.M. Nouwen. And Henri, sometimes we call him Henri Nouwen, Henry Nouwen. And he's talking about love, and we've been talking about love here in The Secret Place for a few weeks. He's talking about love, and he's talking about some of the needs of love. One of them is celebration. Here's what he says. Celebration is indeed the word we need here. The divine ecstatic joy of the house of love becomes manifest in celebration. Celebration marks the life of the disciple of Jesus as well as the life of his new community. The disciple leaves behind the old life in search of a new life. The community is ecclesia, a people called out from the land of oppression to the land of freedom. For every disciple, as well as for the entire fellowship, following the Lord involves celebration, the ongoing, unceasing lifting up of God's love that has proved itself victorious. Celebration is the concrete way in which God's ecstatic joy becomes visible among us. It is of great importance to reclaim the word celebration as one of the core words of the Christian life. So, I don't know if you've heard the word celebration in Christian circles before or in church circles. I love the way Henri Nouwen talks about church as ecclesia, as we were talking about last week. But we need celebration, and we know that as a human family we have birthday celebrations, we have holidays, we come together several times a year on purpose just for the sake of celebration. But I think that we haven't had, we in general have not had a sense that celebration is as important as it really is. In many places I've seen and heard kind of like a dour experience of life is hard and we need to suffer, and no, we don't want to take it too lightly, and we don't want to have a party or a celebration, or maybe sometimes it's just thought of as like the Lord's Supper, the Eucharist is our celebration weekly, and that's it. That's definitely cause to celebrate. But what I want to say today is what's striking me is that there's two general ways of seeing celebration that I've noticed among people of faith. One is, and this is the rare part, one is let's not celebrate too much because we want to take life seriously. There's so much hurt and there's so much pain in the world. We don't want to spend too much time. There's not that much to celebrate, and it takes our time away from the busyness of other more important things. That's one way I see it. And then there's others who every day is a party. It's like oblivious to anybody else's pain. Let's stuff the pain we feel and let's just party. And of course that doesn't lead to anything positive. That often leads to addiction. It leads to a life of purposelessness. That's not a proper, in my estimation, a use of or thought about celebration. And the other one really isn't either. I think that we have got to get stand up straight and get a new idea, a fresh idea of how important it is to come together and celebrate. Even if we're just celebrating the day, celebrating life, celebrating a meal together, because we have a hope in this world, and we have a joy that is available to us through Christ in God. And unless we experience that joy, unless we experience that hope, how are we really different from those without Christ? Is it just in our thinking? Is it just, well, I think the right thoughts and I'm just, more moral maybe, or maybe more conscious, morally conscious? I think what God gives us in Christ, the ability to really rejoice and celebrate life and celebrate the hope that is within us and celebrate each other, I think that that is something that we can give others. When others see that happening in our lives, I think that's what happened in the first century church too. As I recall in my reading and my research, the world was turned upside down because they saw this kind of scraggly group of people who believed in Jesus Christ, who had very hard lives and were day workers, and none of them were in the beginning part of the high class of society in Rome and in Greece. They saw people smiling and enjoying one another and taking care of each other's children and supporting one another and caring for one another and laughing and having, celebrations. They looked and they said, see how they love one another. What is going on here? That's what I call a testimony. And so if you have to think about taking time to celebrate as the potential of a testimony, go for it. But whatever you do, take time to celebrate. Take time to rejoice. Believe me, it's biblical. I mean, all through it, I could start naming scriptures right now. Rejoice in the Lord always. And again, I say rejoice. Paul was talking about it many times. So how do you celebrate? Families and everybody celebrates a little bit differently. But if you come together, maybe you dance, maybe you sing, maybe you cook, maybe you feed each other, maybe you have a great conversation, maybe you have a cup of coffee, maybe you do a big dazzling party. But a celebration doesn't have to be a grand party. We don't have to wait till the weddings and graduation parties to celebrate. Let's take some time to do it now and experience the joy and the fun that is ours because we know the living God and we walk in Christ. God bless you. Have a great day.
Breathe, listen, and receive. Take a moment to soak it all in. Until next time.